Hello, dear friends. I'm Marina from MarsStars.net, and this is the June horoscope for everyone with their sun or ascendant sign in Libra. June is one of the most interesting months during the whole year because Mars will go retrograde by the end of the month. And this is something very, very unfamiliar to us because it happens only once in 2 years. And we really need to be prepared because there are things we need to be careful with, there are things we need to avoid, and of course ways to prevent possible issues with this transit. You will learn more about this by the end of the video. Now let's start before that, of course, with the beginning of June. And actually there is something very, very harmonious. We have a grand trine in the water signs at the very beginning of June. Venus is in Cancer, plus Jupiter in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces. Of course, this is a water grand trine, which is very harmonious for relationship issues, for emotional issues, for being inspired, for being more creative, for being more sensitive and emotionally connected to others. Remember, Venus is the ruler of your own sign, so Venus being part of this grand trine actually makes it even more positive for you. And in your case, actually, the houses which are activated are the earth houses. Second, sixth, and 10th house is where those planets will be transiting in your chart, which means that you can really benefit in terms of something practical, in terms of finances or your career or some kind of responsibilities. So really focus on practical material issues. Specifically, the first week of June is very, very productive for you, and you can achieve success. You can really benefit from something great, and probably it will happen without putting so much effort on it. None of these planets is related to working really hard. Venus, Neptune, Jupiter, they don't bring things with, after you're fighting for something. So the changes or the benefits might come up naturally and in a very harmonious and easy way for you. Okay, so the other thing which we have at the very beginning of June is the transit sun in Gemini in your ninth house. Also very harmonious position because ninth house is, well, one of the most positive houses in the chart, related to our future, related to our goals, our belief system, in some cases spiritual issues as well. So wonderful time to concentrate on what would you like to achieve in the future, on setting some new goals, or traveling abroad as well. Also, if education is something important in your life, you can focus more on that area. You can improve your knowledge in certain topic, in certain area, and probably it's more about something more philosophical, something more general, and something which will help you to, well, like they say, see the bigger picture. That's what ninth house is all about. So great time also to work more on your beliefs, and maybe if you have some limiting beliefs, then set free from them, or focus more on the positive things you need to you need in your, or you want in your life. After the 21st, the sun will enter Cancer in your 10th house. So the focus will be more on career, on work, on things which are visible for others, things which are important for the society or for your reputation, starting new career projects, applying for promotion for another position. In some cases, starting your own business can also be very successful, very beneficial for you while the sun is transiting 10th house. Also, Mercury will transit Gemini in your ninth house at the beginning of June. Great time for new knowledge, for understanding things, and not focusing so much on small details, but more on the important stuff. And developing this more philosophical way of thinking also. Of course, it doesn't mean that you can completely shift and change dramatically your way of thinking. If you don't have other indications, it's not going to happen only thanks to Mercury in ninth house. But if something else is triggering this area for you, if you're really trying to think about things from a different perspective, see them from a different point of view, Mercury in ninth house can also support you in this direction. After the 12th, Mercury enters Cancer, enters your 10th house, which puts more focus on career and work, business negotiations, business plans, organizing your work, organizing other people if you have other people below you, and signing business contracts, also business negotiations. All of those things are very beneficial. By the way, you can find all of the things which I'm talking about in the description below, with all of the exact dates and ingressions and which houses will be activated in your horoscope. So check the video below. After the 29th, Mercury will enter Leo and your 11th house, a transit which can activate more communication with other people, can make friendships more important, more pleasant. Also, intellectual work. Mercury is the intellectual planet, one of the intellectual planets, and 11th house also is related to that. So you can be really productive in finding some new solutions, thinking of, new directions, new ideas, and they can be something related more to your future. 11th house is related to our future as well. Venus also will be in Cancer at the very beginning of the month, which is your 10th house. Venus is the planet of harmony and love and pleasant emotional experiences. So it can bring you all of those experiences through your work, through your career. You can benefit in a more material, more practical way. You can be successful. Remember the grand trine at the very beginning of June as well. And harmonize your relationship with people you're working together with. Great time for negotiations, communicating with authority figures as well, and really enjoying your work. That's what I think is the most important. After the 13th, then Venus will enter Leo and your 11th house, harmonizing more your friendships, your communication with others, groups of people. Communicating with them can really make you feel connected also on an emotional level. 11th house, like we like to say, is related to like-minded souls. So people who are very, very similar to you, who share the same ideas. And when Venus transits there, you can feel emotionally connected to that people as well. And meeting more people is also something which can bring you, more positive experiences. Okay, so the next thing we have is Neptune. Neptune, which will go retrograde during June, starting from the 19th. Neptune will be on the 16 degree and 30 minutes in Pisces in your 6th house. Specifically, the few days before and after this stationary period are very important because the energy is very intense. And you need to be careful for possible mistakes, misunderstandings, especially related to your work, to your health as well. If you're sensitive to some kind of medications, drugs, or if you have some allergies, also you need to be more careful around these few days. And of course, check if Neptune will make any major aspects with your natal planets. This will also show you how intense you're going to feel the impact of this transit. Okay, and finally, the most important event during June is Mars, which will go retrograde from the 27th. Mars will be retrograde first at Aquarius, which is your 5th house. And of course, it will be very important to your romantic relationships, to anything that you really love, to children, to creative projects. And for that event, we are going to have another webinar specifically focused on that topic. Everyone who joins the webinar will get a personal report from me. You can find everything and the link actually in the description below as well. Also, you will understand which house will be transited by Mars in your chart, and most importantly, what kind of major aspects Mars will make to your natal planet, which will actually show you if this will be a very stressful period where you need to be really careful, or it will be a more positive or neutral period for you and it's not so problematic. So check the description for more information on that topic. Plus, you will also get a daily calendar for the whole period of Mars retrograde, the 2-month period, and you will find the day-by-day position of Mars. In this way, you will know at which point Mars can affect one of your planets or cusps of houses. So we have to be prepared for that event. It's not something we are so used to. It's not natural. It's not familiar for most of us. It might be kind of stressful, but at the same time, we can be prepared for that. We can understand and learn how we can avoid possible issues, and how we can benefit, actually how we can take advantage out of this transit. So again, you can find more about it below this video, plus all of the information is included there: exact dates, exact ingressions of planets in signs, in which houses it will be for your zodiac sign. So I hope it was helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon.